What if I told you that if you learned literally just 2 chord shapes, you could play quite literally any jazz song, or really any song in any genre? It probably sounds too good to be true, but in this video, I'm gonna show you why it's not. Why you can actually learn this super quickly and start applying it to pretty much any song in music. In fact, by the end of this video, you're gonna completely understand how to make something sound like this. So, sounds pretty good, right? And these are so simple to learn. These 2 chord shapes are also the most important piece of your foundation for opening up to all interesting harmony, whether it's jazz or neo-soul, beyond these 2 chord shapes. So this is such important stuff. Be sure to watch through the video and make sure you understand the progression of how you can integrate these techniques and practice them and get them into your playing as quickly and efficiently as possible. Let's dive right in. Okay, so super quick basic refresher. There are 5 chords in pretty much all music that are the foundation of interesting harmony, and those are just the 5 basic 7th chords. What are those? Well, the major 7 chord. So we have 1, 3, 5, 7. Then if you flat the 7, you get the dominant 7. If you flat the 3 in addition to the 7, minor 7. If you then flat the 5, now you have half diminished 7, also known as minor 7, parentheses flat 5. And finally, if you double flat the 7, so down from the major 7, 1, 2, double flat, this is a fully diminished 7 chord. Pretty much all chords are built on top of those for the most part. Now, here's what we're going to do. Shape number 1 is so easy to get. As long as you can do one of those 7th chords, you just take that chord, take the outer notes out of it, and put them in your left hand. So now it becomes shape 1, 1, 7, 3, 5. And basically, once you have this 1, 7, 3, 5 shape under your fingers, in fact, you don't even need shape 2. You can already pretty much play any jazz song. So I'm using Autumn Leaves as an example here. So check this out. Here's how it works. If you want to make this major 7 a minor 7 chord, so our first chord in Autumn Leaves is going to be C minor 7, what do we have to do? Same thing as when we did this. We flatted the 3 and 7 to get minor. So with this open voicing, as it's called, we're going to flat the 7 and the 3. Same thing. So right here, we can already hit the first chord. Now if we do the same shape for the next chord, F7, what do you think it's going to look like? Well, 1, 7, major 3, and 5. And then the B flat major, 1, 7, 3, 5. 1, 7, 3, 5. Half diminished on the A, 1, flat 7, flat 3, flat 5, right? Half diminished chord. So it's always just 1, 7, 3, 5. And then here, what I'm doing is actually very fun. I'm doing 1, 6, 3, 5, because when you get a 6 chord is when the 6 replaces the 7. So this is a G minor 6, so 1, flat 3, 5, natural 6 instead of the 7. Pro tip, if you are not replacing the 7, if you're adding a 6 in addition to the 7, then this would actually be a minor 13 chord, because anytime there's a 7, there can't be a 6, it's a 13. You're adding an extension, as it's called. So back to our minor 6. Okay, so we basically already just played the A section, as it's called, of Autumn Leaves with that one single shape that already sounds way more pro than if we did these little root position voicings. Right, that sounds very beginner, because it is, and that's fine. But if we take those outer notes and put them in our left hand and keep the 3 and 5 in our right hand, we get a much more already elevated sound. But of course, let's get into step 2, because you don't want to always just be jumping chords like this. That is not the best voice leading, as it's called. So good voice leading means instead of jumping, each note in the chord could be like a singing voice. And singing voices don't want to be jumping all over the place back and forth. A voice part would be written so the singer, instead of jumping all over the place, could actually just sing to notes that are closer. So something like this. All right, so the first trick is the following. Instead of jumping up to the 5 chord like this, what we can do is the following. We take our thumb and just move it down a half step. And what this now becomes is the F7 chord. Now it's rootless because we don't have an F in it, but let me explain how that works. If F is our root, then C is 5, 3, flat 7, 9. So this is a rootless F9 chord, so a type of F dominant that just has the 9 extension on it. So that's just a little pro trick. We get this great voice leading to the B flat. Okay, now the other trick I was doing is that in addition to lowering the thumb here in the left hand, I was also lowering the index finger in the right hand. And now we get a flat 9 on top. So that's just optional. You could just do this. Or if you want to get that flat 9 sound, so we get an F7 flat 9, another just variation on the dominant chord. You can do the G flat there, which sounds nice as well. Now, step 3 is we start to add in our shape number 2, because we don't want to always have to jump up like this. So shape number 2 is 1, 5, 7, 3. So this gives us much better voice leading. So shape 1 to shape 2 when you go up a fourth. See how these notes work great. This one stays the same. This one goes up. This one goes up. Much better voice leading than big jump. So let's see what we have so far. Here in the half diminished, we can do the same thing. Lower the thumb. If you want to just go, it's a nice little trick to resolve. So wow, already this is sounding way more advanced, and literally we just know 2 shapes and 1 little voice leading trick. So one great way that you can actually practice this is you can just take a 2-5-1 pattern, 2-5-1 being the most common progression, probably in all music. So in this case, C minor to F7 to B flat major 7, that is a 2-5-1. So we can literally just practice the minor, 1, flat 7, flat 3, 5, then we lower the thumb a half step, and then we land on the major, right? So we're going just down a whole step to the B flat. And then you can just do the same thing and go B flat, and we do B flat minor, landing on A flat major. Then we make this A flat minor. Then we go F sharp minor to B. And the best part is that I actually have this written out completely free for you if you join the free resources library, where I have actually a ton of resources available. So be sure to click the link in the description, get signed up, and you can literally download this exercises and the course from today's lesson. And also, if you want to just generally speaking level up your musical knowledge, your theory knowledge, and your piano playing in 2025, please be sure to click subscribe. I promise to be putting out lots more valuable content for you, and all I ask is that you subscribe to the channel. All right, let's keep going. All right, so level 4 now is that we can use these same exact shapes, but we can add in some passing chords. And the most basic way to add in a passing chord is you just play the dominant chord either a half step below the next chord or a half step above the next chord. So let me show you what I mean. If we're going from C minor to F7, then we can go from above, G flat 7 down to F7. Great for comping. Let's go from below. That's awesome. So we have so there I actually did the major, E flat major down to D7, right? And now we're getting these really interesting little, basically passing chord substitutions before the next chord. So once again, we're just using the same shape, like who would have thought, and our music is sounding more and more professional here and more interesting. And the passing chords are literally just dominant or sometimes major chord, a half step above or a half step below the next chord. You're just using it to approach the next chord, and it works great. Now, step 5, the final step here for making this sound more interesting and professional, is actually pretty simple as well. And this is just adding in some of the rhythmic variation that I've been doing. So when you first start practicing this, you can do just whole notes. But then let's add in a comping pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that might be tricky, but I'm gonna have this written out on screen for you, the rhythm here. It's a little bit more syncopated, a little bit more jazzy, and now it's gonna swing. So check this out. And to make this even more interesting, we can actually add in some of the passing chords, and we can sometimes arpeggiate our chords as well. So check this out. And so just like that, we've just gone from sounding like a beginner playing these basic 7th chords to basically in 5 really easy steps, making this all sound so much more interesting. Now, I'm not saying you're gonna be able to get this instantly. I don't wanna be like one of those YouTubers who's like, just do this and it'll take you 5 minutes and you can do all of it. Obviously, you gotta practice these things, but I'm hoping that this video actually made understanding it really, really simple, and you realize that just those 2 chord shapes can give you so much mileage. So I recommend you try this on some other songs. If you open up any song, you can now literally just play any of the chords by using the 1, 7, 3, 5 shape to start. Then sometimes you can, in order to achieve good voice leading, use the 1, 5, 7, 3 shape, shape 2. And then you can start adding in a bit more comping rhythm and some arpeggiation to make it sound more interesting. And just like that, you can pretty much play any song. So obviously you can get much more advanced than that, but this is the foundation to sounding good on any jazz standard or really song beyond that. So I hope you found that really, really helpful. And of course, if you do want to get into some more interesting harmony using more extensions, I'm going to show you a video that actually shows you 3 really interesting harmony exercises that sound very modern, include extensions and some beautiful substitution. So this is going to help you go next level after understanding this video. I'll put that video up on screen. All right, see you at the next one.